just Sukhasana, easy seated pose. So just find whatever, if you want to sit with your legs crossed or however you want to sit, it's up to you. Today we are focusing on the kidney and bladder meridians. So go ahead and settle in, closing the eyes here. And as we're thinking about the kidney and the bladder, we're thinking about a lot of grounding here and the flow of energy through the body. So our kidney meridian really focuses on our roots. So as we're moving through our practice, thinking about the space in our lower back and our hips and really moving down through the legs. We think of these, or the kidney meridian, which is the energetic highway that carries this energy through your body, as the root of vitality in traditional Chinese medicine. And this really stores the body's foundational energy. So if we're thinking about our roots, if we are experiencing an imbalance in our kidney meridian, this can sometimes feel like we're a little unstable. Energetically, we're just not feeling very grounded. Maybe we're feeling a lot of emotions come up and being very kind of airy and floaty and just not feeling like ourselves sometimes. So as we're moving through the practice, there's a lot of grounding postures that we will be doing and really thinking about that energy really flowing into the earth during our practice today. So tuning into that now, really thinking about our root in contact with the earth, sitting here on the floor in this posture, nice and tall, just beginning to connect with that flow of energy. So closing our eyes, letting our shoulders come down away from our ears. And as we begin to breathe here, just tuning into the breath, carrying that energy in our body. And I'll talk a little bit about the bladder meridian as well. This really, as we're thinking about the breath carrying this energy, the bladder meridian flows from the inner corner of our eye over the top of our head and down both sides of our spine, all the way down the back of our legs to our little toe. And so this line of energy really travels the length of our entire body. And our bladder really is about the flow of energy, regulating a smooth flow throughout the body, balancing our energy of our yin and our yang. So our surrender in our yin and then the doing in our yang. So the more active energy and the more subtle energies, really being balanced here by the bladder. So really thinking about that energy moving with our breath. So as we're inhaling, envisioning that energy moving through the soles of our feet, up our spine, over into that inner corner of our eyes. And then the kidney meridian runs from our soles of our feet to the inside of our legs, connecting with the kidney in our abdomen and then traveling through the front part of the body on the chest and ending here at our collarbones, the base of our throat. So just tuning into those areas, thinking about the energy flow and beginning to connect here. And as we move through the practice today, I'll be cueing poses and kind of letting you know which areas we're accessing. So just become aware of that energy flowing through you. Really thinking about balancing these energies through our practice. Maybe taking a moment to set an intention for your practice today. To find balance, to be present, whatever's coming forward for you. And when you're ready, we will meet in a child's pose. So if you would like a little cushion for your knees, bringing our blanket to our mat, support our knees. Bringing the big toes together, knees width of the mat, and really taking a moment here to root down and to really connect here with the base of your spine, beginning to kind of awaken that energy. And as we walk our hands out here, and you can use a block or a bolster, maybe you have some books if you are at home, to rest your forehead, or bringing your forehead all the way to the earth. Really sinking down into this posture. Really beginning to surrender to your practice, to really open up the back side of our body here. Think about the lower back. We're starting our practice with our root, so that kidney meridian in our lower back. Really just awakening that. Drawing some awareness to it. We'll use a few affirmations throughout our practice today. To begin our practice, our first affirmation, I allow the smooth flow of energy through my body. I allow the smooth flow of energy through my body. And as we use affirmations, just thinking about them, saying them to ourselves or out loud if you'd like, and just noticing anything that resonates with you here. Noticing if that feels resistant or something comes up for you, and just drawing awareness to it and letting it go. No judgment, just accepting it, just curious about it. And our gaze comes towards our fingers, and just gently walk your hands back towards the body, bringing the head up last, and pausing here for a moment, allowing that energy to settle in the body. We'll move into some cat-cows. So coming into tabletop, bringing the knees underneath the hips and wrists under the shoulders. Fingertips spread nice and wide, kind of gripping the mat here and pressing through the palms of the hands. Nice neutral spine, gaze between the hands, and on the inhale, the gaze draws up, the heart space opens here, tailbone rises and belly drops. Coming into cow. Exhale, pressing into the earth, round the spine, navel draws towards the spine, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, drop the belly, back into cow. Gaze comes forward. Just moving through these at your own pace. Really thinking about connecting the breath with our movement here. Really paying attention to the flow of energy. Feeling into these spaces, especially in our lower back as we come into cow here and open our chest. Feeling into those meridians that run along these spaces. And we can take atypical movements if you want to feel a little more into the hips here. Really feeling into our roots, into that kidney meridian. Just kind of waking the body up. Taking your time here, nice and slow. And we'll come back to a neutral spine. Moving into dragon on the right side. So stepping or walking that right foot forward to meet the hands. I'm finding a nice stable position here, maybe even tucking the back toes for stability. Pressing through the sole of the right foot. Inhaling, drawing the arms up, creating some length here, really reaching. Tiny little back bend here. Interlace the fingers and place them behind the right knee. Opening the chest here, shoulders down away from the ears. Just breathe here. Find your alignment. Notice your hips. Try to see if you can somewhat square them towards the front of your mat. Always making choices that honor your body today. So really feel into what feels good for you. Really grounding through the sole of that right foot. Really into our roots here. So that kidney meridian starts at the sole of the feet. So the sole of the right foot, think about sending that root down into the earth. And when you're ready, finding your blocks or just bringing the hands down to the mat. If you're at home, maybe a couple of books stacked or something, whatever's good for you. And then deepening that lunge, really sinking the hips downward. Really inviting a release into our hips here. Gaze comes between the hands. And if you'd like to stay in that upright position, you can stay there as well. Our affirmation here, I trust in the flow of life's energy. I trust in the flow of life's energy. So trusting here is our key word for our roots. Trusting, safety, stability, trust in the flow of life's energy. And exhale, send the hips back. Right toes pointed towards the front of the room. Just a gentle release here. Feeling that lengthening of our hamstring, maybe down the back of our leg. And releasing, stepping or walking that right foot back and coming through tabletop. Finding that strong neutral spine here. And then stepping or walking that left foot forward to meet the hands. Tucking the back toes if needed. Finding strength here where you want to be. And pressing through the sole of the left foot. Reaching the arms up, overhead, lengthening here. Really drawing that energy upward. Interlace the fingers and place them behind the left knee. Take time to find your alignment here, where you need to be. Drawing the shoulder blades together and opening the heart. Pressing through the sole of the left foot into the earth. Connect with the breath here. If you've lost it, come back to just noticing the breath. You don't have to shift or change it, just become aware of it. Our breath is a sign to us, especially in these postures that require a little more strength from our body. If we are maybe pushing ourselves a little too far, our breath can become strained. And if we think about our breath carrying energy as it's strained, maybe the energy isn't flowing freely. So backing off a little, finding that space where you can be still, feel strong and supported. And when you're ready, coming down to blocks or bringing the hands down to the mat and the inside of that left foot, deepening the lunge here. You may need to make some adjustments, walking the foot out a little or forward, sinking the hips down. Really rooting through the sole of the left foot. Three more breaths here. Exhale, press back. Left toes pointed towards the front of the mat. Little release. Stretch in that left hamstring. And stepping or walking that left foot back all the way. Maybe taking a brief child's pose here. Either variation, wide leg with the knees to the width of the mat or knees together, and letting the body rest on the thighs, head towards the earth. And slowly coming up, we'll move into Sphinx pose. So bringing the forearms to the mat, legs come out long behind you in whatever way is intuitive to you. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Our forearms are pressed into the earth. Fingers spread nice and wide here. Shoulder blades draw together. Really breathing into the opening of the chest. Think about that space where those meridians end here at your collarbone, and run along the chest and just opening that space up. Also thinking about activating the lower back here. Lower part of our spine here, active, engaged. This is accessing again our kidney meridian. Let the legs be supported by the earth here. And our affirmation here, my spine is flexible and supportive. My spine is flexible and supportive. And if you'd like to bring your gaze between your hands, or let your head hang heavy here, or come to rest on a block between your arms. Few options here. Choose whatever you feel most supports you in this posture. And remove any props, setting them aside, and slowly lower down all the way to the mat. Take a couple of breaths here, just with your forehead resting on your forearms. Place the hands under the shoulders and gently press back, coming into a seated position. The legs stretched out in front of you. And bringing a block for support or a pillow or something if you are at home. Finding a nice, your sit bones are rooted into the earth. So that may mean that we move some fleshy parts out of the way so that we can really feel connected here with the base of our spine, really rooting down. Toes flex towards the body, finding that tall spine. We're moving into caterpillar here. So place the hands on the tops of your legs, on your thighs or on your knees. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Think about lengthening here. As we begin, we'll just find an awareness of that breath and the energy traveling along the back part of our legs. So we're thinking about our bladder here, the back of our legs, all the way to our small toe, our pinky toes. So from the inside corner of our eyes, over our head, down the spine, down the back of the legs to our toes. As we walk the hands out here, keeping the spine straight up first, and then when you meet resistance, whatever it is, just let the head hang heavy here. Let the chin come towards the chest, let the spine round wherever you are. Just breathing and following that line of energy down the back body. Nice even flow of breath. Nice and smooth, whatever pace it is, does not matter. You don't need to keep an even inhale and exhale. Just notice the breath. Keep it smooth, slow it down if you need to. Inhale, walk the hands back up the legs, bringing the head up last. Roll the shoulders back and down. Just take a couple of breaths here, pausing. We'll move from that bladder meridian into accessing the kidneys again. So drawing the soles of the feet together and moving into butterfly. Let the knees fall open and you can place pillows or blocks underneath your thighs for support. And to promote the flow of energy here, we'll remain in an upright position. So just finding length in our spine, resting our hands on our knees or on our ankles. Tuning into that flow, the grounding, connection with the earth below, thinking about our kidneys, about water moving through our body. Vitality, energy moving through our body. Maybe even bringing our thumbs to the soles of our feet here and just kind of giving a gentle massage. That kidney meridian runs from the sole of our feet and it runs all the way up the inside of our thighs here. So really just influencing that energy to start flowing. It's not very long, just a little squeeze, a little wake up there. We'll release any props, setting them aside, bringing our legs out to a V shape, widening our stance with our legs. Doesn't have to be very wide, it can be just a little bit, whatever you're comfortable with. Toes flexed towards the body, finding some length in the spine here. And then walking the hands out just until you feel some resistance here, maybe in the back of our legs. So as we're feeling into that bladder meridian in the back of our legs now, with our toes flexed. And you can bring your blocks here or let your head hang heavy, whatever feels good to you. You don't even have to bow your head here. You can keep a nice long engaged spine. Find a posture that works for your body today, how you are feeling, what you are feeling called to move into, what your body is really asking for today. Our affirmation for this posture is, I nurture my mind, body, and spirit. I nurture my mind, body, and spirit. And inhale, walk the hands back. Bring the head up last if you've been bowing forward. And we'll come into a supported fish. You can use, if you are at home, you can use a pillow. If you don't have a bolster or blocks, just bringing that pillow or even a rolled up towel or blanket and placing it where you would lay your spine across. So if you have a blanket or towel, just rolling it up like this, placing it at the top of your mat, and then laying across like this, bringing the legs out long, arms to a T, really focusing on opening the heart center here, opening the chest. You can also bend the knees here, feet hip distance apart, relieve some of the pressure on the lower back. If you'd like to use blocks, placing one here between the shoulder blades and another at the top of your mat to rest your head. Take a minute to make any adjustments as we're feeling into opening the heart center here, opening the chest. We're feeling into those kidney meridians that run through that space. And in whatever way is intuitive to you, releasing those props and coming to lay all the way down on your mat. And bring the feet hip distance apart here. Just slowly windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Just feeling into the hips, releasing a little here, nourishing our roots. And come back through center. Press through the soles of the feet and lift the hips just slightly upward and shift them over to the left just a little as we move our knees to the right. So just coming into a twist here, making any adjustments needed to feel comfortable in this. You could place a pillow or a block between the knees just to relieve a little pressure on the lower back here. So knees are over to the right, arms out to a T, gaze comes over the left fingertips. And we're just thinking about really winding down, twisting down as we wind down our practice here. So think about engaging that core and really releasing anything that has come up during your practice through your roots. This is accessing the kidney meridian. We're grounding our practice today. So all the work that you've done, everything that you've moved around today in your body, that's been flowing. We're releasing anything we don't need. So just think of detoxing, of letting go, releasing that all into the earth here. Inhale, gently unwind, coming back through center. Maybe drawing the knees in towards the chest, grabbing on wherever you can, the back of the legs, the shins, just drawing the knees in and maybe rocking side to side. Just giving your lower back a little love. And drop the feet back down to the mat. This time, pressing through the feet, lifting the hips and shifting them over to the right. Let the knees fall to the left and come into a twist on the opposite side. Using any props that you need, making any adjustments so that you can find some stillness and feel supported. Arms out to a T, gaze comes over the right fingertips. Feel free to close your eyes here. Our last affirmation, I am grounded and connected. I am grounded and connected. Inhale, gently unwind, release any props, and shift the hips back towards center. Come into Shavasana. Let the legs come out long. Let the feet fall open. Arms at your sides. Take up some space. Rest. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale, let it all go. Any judgments, anything that you're holding on to from your practice, just let it go. Let it all go. Allow yourself to be held here, to rest. Take time to integrate, to settle. Let the breath arrive in the body where it is. Let it be organic. See if you can feel into the balance that you've created today. Notice how you feel here, allowing yourself time to rest with the earth. Begin to deepen the breathing. Invite your awareness back into the space. Take your time and slowly make your way to a seated position facing the front of the room. Placing both hands over the heart center. Take a moment here of gratitude for carving out this time and space to connect, to balance your energies, to tap into your vital roots, your life force energy flowing through you. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice of Yin Yoga to balance our kidney and bladder meridians, to come together in this practice of connection, to allow our energy to flow together and for us to grow together. It is my greatest wish that you carry the benefit of tonight's practice with you throughout the rest of your evening, the rest of your week, and beyond. Satnam, may you align with your favorite version of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.